welcome to episode 3, Tariffs, and what the fuck are they? It's November 18th, 2024, and given the recent turn of events regarding the incoming administration's economic policies and the upswing in Google searches for what is a tariff, I thought I would help shed some light by providing a visual representation as well as kind of trying to stretch across those horizons and reach everybody here. So I'm going to use an example, a specific example, coffee. Now, let's think of a random coffee name, something that would appeal, maybe even to conservatives, something dark and, I don't know, with guns, you know, something completely irrelevant to coffee. Like cracked trifle coffee, made for patriots and gun enthusiasts just like myself. Plus, we're 100% American. Whoa, hang on there, buckaroo. I think you're forgetting something a little important about your company that you're not really sussing out, because you're making it seem as though you grow, you harvest, you roast, and distribute 100% of your coffee. But your company address says you're in Salt Lake City, Utah. I didn't think coffee grew up there. It doesn't. Well, then, if that's the case, where does it come from? I'm glad you asked. Here at Crack Trifle, we import our beans from Colombia and Brazil, respectively. But we roast them and we process them and we distribute them right here in the good old US of A. So then, if a tariff is applied and it costs more for you to import those beans, then I guess I'll have to charge more. Bingo. Some of you might be asking, you know, I love crack trifle coffee, right? It's got coffee, guns, America. It says it right on the label, you know, USA. Although they do say and market themselves as 100% American, unfortunately, they use an FTC loophole that states that if you've got the majority of your product that's manufactured or developed here in the United States, you can therefore advertise it as American made. You see, tariffs are taxes, but they're applied to imported goods from other countries when they come in, like Colombia and Brazil. If tariffs are placed upon nations like that, their coffee industry is going to take a hit. And so it's going to cost more for companies like Crack Trifle to import those beans. Unfortunately, they're going to have to account for those losses. And contrary to popular belief, tariffs that are imposed aren't absorbed by either the country that they're applied on, nor the companies that are importing the goods. That said, Crack Trifle Coffee is now going to have to account for all of those losses with the only logical option if you're a business, and that's to raise prices. I know this sounds kind of shitty, because why would anyone even want to do something like this, tariffs? In some situations, tariffs can actually be a really positive thing for a country and its economy. If, say, a country like the United States started producing enough of its own coffee, and it wished to boost its own internal production of that coffee, they can implement tariffs, which will motivate consumers to buy goods that are here in America instead of those that are imported from places like Colombia and Brazil. The problem is that products like coffee enjoy a high demand all year round across the United States. It's a legal stimulant in a society that likes to live for the grind, as it were, so it virtually sells itself. As we see in our example, Salt Lake City, Utah doesn't grow coffee. It can't. It doesn't have the right climate nor environment. Nor can they grow a litany of other products, like fruits and vegetables. And in fact, the United States imports 60% of its fresh fruits and around 40% of its fresh vegetables. Double check me, fact check me, always fact check me. I am totally down with it. And if you're wondering, Donald Trump did implement tariffs in his first administration. And when the Biden administration came in 2020, he didn't lift some of those tariffs back off of China, specifically those found in semiconductors and electric cars. And again, as I said earlier, that was a way to boost production here domestically. Basically, when these tariffs are supposed to be implemented across the board, especially those 20% tariffs, there is no way in which you come out of this spending less money. In fact, you are going to spend a lot more money on a lot more things. And that's across the board. Americans in general, when it comes to elections and politics, they don't like doing the heavy lifting or the appropriate homework, and the majority of them chose to increase their everyday cost of living and move further away from ever owning a home so they could own the libs. So I'm going to try and repeat it as much as possible. It's cool to be informed. It's cool to continue paying attention and to keep up that good fight. Because the world you live in depends on your involvement. All of our lives, your entire community. We're impacted by the decisions that you make. It's not a game, and these aren't teams like baseball or football. It's everybody's lives. You need to stay involved, and you need to stay engaged, unless you choose that you wish to be ruled over by your inferiors. Until next time, stay decent, nerds.